Right, good morning. So I want to show us how you can achieve the design. Now, this is a personal creation. You can actually do otherwise or do as you might wish. So now, this is a yellow center material, the regular cutting, right? We do cuts, and then let me remove them to show us the measurements. So this is just a material I have cut out. I first cut it at this shape or with this shape. Now, the measurements can vary depending on how big you want it to be, right? But the one I have here, the measure I have here is width of 10 inches width, right? By length of 18 inches. You can make yours to be bigger or smaller depending on your customer chest measurement. The chest I have here is just of 47, 48, right? So that's the reason it's this big. So now, the regular square is the regular measurements, is the regular style in vogue. So I decided to make mine to come a bit different. So that was why I slanted the edges, right? I slashed the edges just to give it another concept. You can make yours to be square, circle, triangle, star, whatever design or shape you can cut, right? So I just slanted these edges. Now the slanting nature, at this other edge, I have it to be 10.5 left, right? 10.5 left as against the original length I have here, the length of 18, 19, right? So now the width remains the same. So I now cut up a strand, a black material. Now this black material measurement is 2.5 width, but the length across the chest area, 2.5 width, the black strand, 2.5 width this way, then the length across this way. So this is the first one. You also measure accordingly the whole dimensions you are going to cover. Now this band will cover the edges of this material placed at the chest region. So this material will cover this way. So you are going to measure across the chest to know the total length you are going to have, but the width will be 2.5 in cutting. I will show you how to fold them as we progress. Now this one as well will be underneath.
Excuse me, boss.
Right?
You have a text message.
You have to take your time to measure out all these.
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
For you to know how to go about it. But the width of cutting should be 2.5, right? Then after you must have gotten to this stage, the next thing you will do now is to start
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
I will show you as well how the folding is achieved. So this is how it will look like. By the time you have folded, this black will become smaller and become nice actually. So this is for the preparatory stage. I will show you as well the gumming of course the coupling stage. Thank you. So now I have hemmed it. I use hemming gum to attach this fabric to the main block. Now this was how it was attached, right? Then after that, now the strands I cut out, the 2.5 inches, I later reduced it to 2, or rather you can still leave it at that 2.5. Then the folding, I folded in this form and then again folded in this form again. Now the folding, I tried to get 1 inch as my finishing, right? So this is the finishing folding measurement I have. 1 inch for the strands, 1.1 inch, right? This is how I got all the 4 edge folding. Then at the end of the day, after you must have folded all these areas, then you place them accordingly. Now you place it accordingly this way. Then you also use hemming gum to hem the strands so that it won't have air inside it. You use hemming gum to hem the strands inside. Then you place this way. Then place this other one accordingly as well, right? I have trimmed it off. You place accordingly. Now you put hemming gum underneath this material and then hem on top. That's, you put the hemming gum on top of this and then place each strand on it and hem. Make sure the strands are covering the rough edges of the fabric you place on top. So it must be centralized so that it won't come out. So when you must have gotten to this stage now, you also do the 2 first ones that are beneath, that are down, before crossing these other ones on top, right? Before crossing these other ones on top. So this is how you would take your time to arrange it. No matter the design or the style you have, this is how you would do it. So at the end of the day, after you must have hemmed, you're not going to sew on each of these strands. Even though you have hemmed it, you still sew on each of the strands, both the one that went slanted this way and then this other one. So after that, you continue with the normal sewing processes. All right, guys, I hope this helps someone and achieve this, something similar to this. Thank you for watching. All right, so now I'm done preparing the clothes, the foldings and everything. I believe by now you should have known how to do to this stage, right? Every cutting procedure remains the same. The only thing new here is a curve, which I will still tell you or tell us in the group. So now everything remains the same. So I want to show you how you attach all those designs at the front part of the clothes. So now if you look at this is the design I have already prepared. So in as much as I have used hemming gum to hem it, I'm still bound to use thread or so on top of it. So I will use black thread with a yellow rail at the reeler. Then you are going to sew all through the black strands, tip to tip. You are going to sew everything all through it, right? You're going to sew everything all through, right? You're going to sew everything. These black strands is where you're going to sew on both ends, on both edges, both here and here, both this place and this place, both here and here as well. So you sew everything, all strands. So this is how you're going to sew. After sewing, you now proceed to the normal coupling processes, which I will also show us if the case arises, right? So this is how it will be. You sew the black, everything, and then you start the normal coupling processes. So now I have sewn all through the black strands. As you can see, I have sewn all through, right? So you sew all through. This is how you sew it, tip to tip. Make sure it's neat enough, right? You sew all through these black strands. You will sew all through. Sorry, it's not so bright, but I think you can see the black threading, right, from the machine lights. So this is how you sew. Make sure yours is as neat as this, right? Yours must be as neat as this. That's the beauty. You sew all through, tip all through to the end. Then you sew as well, tip all through. All the black strands you are going to sew at the both ends until you complete the whole sewing. After you must have done this now, the next thing you will do now is for you to start coupling the regular sewing processes. So this is how you can achieve this. This method can be used to achieve any design of your choice. This is just a sample I'm sending for us to see. Okay, I believe this one will help us to go far and then learn more as well. Thank you for watching.